This video demonstrates how to use ERDPlus to create a relational schema. Once you're logged into your ERDPlus account, go to the diagram section. Before we demonstrate how to create a sample relational schema, first let's take a look at a previously created ER diagram that we will use as a basis for the sample relational schema. Keep this ER diagram in mind as we now go and create a relational schema. Click on New, select Relational Schema, click on the name of the new relational schema, and now you're in a drawing surface for creating relational schemas. We start by creating the first table. This table is named Location. First column of this table is LID. The next column is LName. We will declare primary key of this table by clicking on the primary key button, and we will choose LID as the primary key. The next table is called Project. Let's start creating columns. PID, PName. Table Project will also have a foreign key, LID, referencing the primary key LID of the location table. To create a foreign key, click on Connect, click on the table that provides the foreign key, hold the left click down, and drag to the table that gets the foreign key. This creates a foreign key. Now let's create a primary key of the project table by clicking on the primary key button and choosing PID. In ERDPlus, you can change the order of columns easily. Let's move the LID column one spot up. Now let's move the LID column one spot down. The next table we will create is the table Employee. The columns are EID and EName. Primary key is the EID column. The final table of this relational schema is a bridge table, works on, resulting of the many-to-many relationship between employee and project entities. Click on the table, name it, works on, and now we have to add two foreign keys to this table, one coming from the table Employee and one coming from the table Project. Click on Connect and create two foreign keys. In addition, this table has another column, number of hours. This column indicates how many hours each employee worked on each project. We will now declare the primary key of this table. The primary key is a composite key composed of EID and PID. And finally, we have to account for the unary relationship of the employee entity in the ER diagram. Unary relationship is implemented as a recursive key, foreign key pointing to the primary key of the same table. Click on the employee table and click on recursive key. Since employee is a relation, we have to rename the foreign key EID so it has a different name from the primary key. We'll name it EID Supervisor. If you recall in the ER diagram, not every employee must have a supervisor. Therefore, EID Supervisor is an optional column. To create an optional column, click on Optional button and choose, in this case, EID Supervisor as an optional column. Our sample relational schema is now created. It is also already saved in the diagram section of your ERDPlus account. In addition, by clicking on the diagram and clicking on Export Diagram File, you can save the same diagram onto your computer. Also, you can save the image of the diagram by clicking on Export Image. Saving the image allows you later to copy and paste it into PowerPoint, Word, or any other application. ERDPlus is used for creating relational schema, but it can also be used to implement databases based on the relational schema. If you click on any of the tables and click on data types, you will notice that each column is given a data type. ERDPlus assigns integer as a default data type, but by clicking on the data type itself, notice that you could have chosen numerous other data types such as character, varchar, numeric, etc. For simplicity, we will leave all the data types as integer, but suffice to say you could have chosen different data types. If you click on diagram and then export SQL, notice that ERDPlus has already created DDL SQL statements for the entire relational schema. By clicking on the copy, you're copying these statements into clipboard, and then you can paste them into Notepad, Word, or RDBMS of your choice, such as Oracle, SQL Server, IBM DB2. You can also paste these statements into Access, but Access demands that each create table statement is copied individually. By using these DDL SQL statements, you can create fully functioning empty databases in the RDBMS of your choice, and then populate those databases with data and use them as you see fit. This concludes the small demonstration of how to create sample relational schema and the resulting relational database using ERDPlus.